Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you tell us your name?
My name is Sorcha O'Donnell.
Sorcha, can you tell us how long you've been rowing for?
I've been rowing for, I think, just about 7 years now.
Great. And can you tell us about your rowing achievements to date?
I've been very lucky with my rowing so far. So I think achievements. My first achievement was, I think, Novice, where I was in the Novice 8 and the Novice Quad that won the national championships. I have 2 wins at the Inter 8s and I have a win in the Senior 8s. And in the US, I placed 7th at NCAAs, and then in my final year, I was in the 1V and we placed 13th.
Excellent. And what attracted you to the sport of rowing in the first place?
Honestly, I wanted to try something different, and at the time that I was starting college, the O'Donovans had just won silver, and I didn't know what rowing was until I watched them on TV. So I watched them live, and I was like, oh my god, this sport is amazing, all the excitement. And I tried it, I loved it, and I've been at it since.
What did you ever imagine you would achieve what you have achieved so far?
No, absolutely not. Like, even when I was novice, I was strong, but I wasn't technically good. Even in that first year, I think there was a club boat and there was a novice boat, and I wasn't even good enough for the club boat. I stayed in the novice boat, and so obviously that kind of that drive to get better, because I could have never imagined what my career was if you'd asked me 6 years ago.
And what has been the hardest part of your journey to date?
The hardest part, obviously, well, I think the easy question is COVID. That was a hard, point to get through. But I think what's resounded with me most about being hard about the sport is that you're very hard on yourself, and you have this image in your head of what rowing should be, what you should be doing, and where you want to be. And I think that you have to learn to be more forgiving with yourself and not borderline on being obsessive or toxic towards yourself, because the sport is hard enough as it is, not to make it harder on yourself.
What has been your best highlight to date?
I think the travel that rowing has brought. So I think, like, being able to go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam was my first ever race as novice, and I've been rowing in, let's say, Split. I've rowed in Spain, in the US, in London. Like, the amount of people that you meet, and all rowers are the same. So I think that's the highlight, is just meeting all these different people that have this shared interest.
Brilliant. What would you say to your younger self about taking up this sport?
Be patient, keep at it, and take a moment to breathe and realize what you've done. I think a lot of times I've been kicking myself that I didn't take myself out of the moment and realize what I had just done or what I was doing. And like, rowing it's a really fast paced sport, and if you don't actually take a breath and realize what you've done, you're going to miss all those really good moments and small moments that you might think are insignificant in the long term, but like intimate moments where you're at training, or you're even just lifting a boat, or if you're just washing a boat. Those small little quiet moments, I think I'd like to appreciate.
And what was the most fun you've had in rowing so far?
Oh, definitely the people. But again, racing with people. It's good racing against your competitors, against other teams, but I think the most fun that you have is racing within your team. When you have 2 mixed boats out, you genuinely don't know who's going to win, and it's just that fun and banter that you can have, rowing across the river at each other, and having fun at training and having fun working hard. And if someone beats you, that's good, because then you have something to chase, and if you beat them, it's good because you're beating your teammates. But it's just that fun back and forth of you're getting better and they're getting better, and it's just a really, really fun place to be.
Brilliant. What would you say to somebody thinking of taking up the sport now?
Definitely do it. I've never had college without rowing, and I cannot even begin to imagine what trajectory my life would have taken if I hadn't have stayed at it. Like, again, I've been to the US, I've met all these incredible people that I never would have met if it wasn't for rowing. Like, it become a core part of my personality, and no matter like what I do in the future, it's always a core part of who I am and how it's kind of galvanized me into the person I am now.
What barriers are there for women in sport, if any?
I think rowing, it's different to, let's say, like some of the bigger sports like the GAA, because the visibility for rowing overall is quite limited. Like, it's not a big spectator sport. Like, even in the US, it wasn't a revenue sport, so I think visibility was the main thing that you don't see it. Like, I didn't know what rowing was until I saw the Olympics, and again that was the men's team, and it's great that like the women are becoming, you know, the forefront as well, and it's really, really encouraging to see. But I think overall is visibility and just knowing what is out there and what teams you can, you know, attend and all that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Sorcha.
Thank you.